Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jacob and this is Jackson and this is Last Stop Waterfowl Outdoors TV. Well, today guys, we figured we would have a little bit of fun. We've got a lot of questions over the last couple of seasons over, hey, what calls do you guys blow whenever you're in your videos and hunting in Louisiana throughout the coastal marshes and the timber throughout the season? So Jackson and I said, hey, why don't we get together as we're getting ready to kick off a new season, the 2024-2025 season. Why don't we show people what we have on our lanyard and what we're using and what we like and why we use it? So, Jackson, I'm going to let you start off today. Why don't you kind of give everybody a little bit of insight as to what calls you're blowing and kind of what you like and what you don't like?
Well, we'll just start off on this side. On this side, I got one of my main calls that I use, which pretty much everybody uses. It's just a little simple whistle. Just a little simple whistle to do multiple calls like teal, mallard, anything you want, really. Pintail. And then next, I just got a little simple duck commander, gray duck call.
That's probably one of the most important calls on our lanyard for where we hunt.
Yeah, we get a lot of Gadwall, so like this one is the one I use the most, which is why it kind of sounds a little bit different now because it's been used a lot. But
we got some miles on it.
Just a simple little gray duck call, just all it does.
Give them a little sound profile of that one because it's been broken in pretty good now. Yeah.
I mean, it still sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
It does. That's one of the most common calls that we use here in southeast Louisiana. We have a lot of Gadwall down here, guys. So a Gadwall call for us is pretty important. And another great thing about a Gadwall call is that it keeps the volume down. You know, those days where those birds are real weary and, you know, you have guys that are hail calling at them. They're trying to get them, especially on public land. That's a great point to make. You know, a lot of guys are competing for those birds when they're on public land. With a Gadwall call, even if you have a day where you might have mallards over your spread or you're working another species outside of Gadwall, oftentimes we find that a Gadwall call works really well because it's not as aggressive.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a little more quieter, not as, just like you said, like not as loud when then people are trying to yell at them.
Yeah. We're not competing. You know, it's a little different.
Yeah. So my next call is actually a call I picked up at the Delta Waterfowl Show here in Louisiana at Baton Rouge. This year is a a Maker's Call Company out of Huntington, Tennessee. It's a mag cut call, mallard call,
and they actually cut those reeds on this call for you at the Delta Show, correct?
While I was trying to buy it.
So yeah, they did a really good job. Jackson was interested in this company at the Delta Waterfowl Show, and they went out and they actually helped him big time. Cut the reeds to where, you know, it was easy for him to blow. And I know you said that's one of the biggest advantages of this call. So it don't take a lot of air to blow.
It's very loud. Definitely very loud. Yeah. I'll give you a little sound profile.
Yep. Got a good sound to it, real loud. It's something that probably in the timber that when you're trying to get those birds' attention and let those birds kind of find your hole, and you're looking to get them close to you, that's something that he's going to probably be using this season, I would imagine.
Yeah, something I want to use if I want to get a little bit louder, obviously.
Yeah. But what else we got?
Switching over to the other side, I got a simple just duck commander mallard call right here, and then I got an echo mallard call right here that a buddy of mine gave to me. So we got these two right here, both mallard calls.
So I noticed on those two calls, you got a wood barrel with a polycarbonate insert in both of those. This is a duck commander call. I want to say the name of that one was the Sarge or the General, something like that. The duck commander made for a long time. So that's a really good sounding call. It's lightweight. I know that call is really, really lightweight. It's not heavy, but give them a sound profile of what it sounds like.
I like that.
Got a good raspy sound to it. And then this one, you're going to be a little bit more higher price point. That's going to be your Echo call. And really nice construction on Echo. Everybody knows that Echo is one of the top brands in the industry for years now, and a really good-looking call.
Yeah, this one isn't as loud as say the Duck Commander one or the one from these guys from Tennessee, but it's still a pretty good call, and I like it. Give me a little sound.
A little bit deeper sound to that one right there. I like that one a lot. Not as loud, I find. Really sounds good. Looks like it's really well made. Now, that particular one, I'm not exactly sure the name of it. I don't know if you know the name, but it's from Echo. We know that. Probably a more expensive call. I would think that one's in more of like your $150 to $200 range if I had to guess.
Yeah.
But you have a wide variety of calls from low end price calls all the way to some higher end price calls. And what I would tell you guys is that if you're getting into the sport, if you're just getting into waterfowl hunting, go with what fits your budget when it comes to a call. If you're just getting into the sport, probably you're going to start with something that's less expensive. You're going to pick something up at an academy sporting outdoors. You're going to pick something up maybe at Walmart, at your local Cabela's, or maybe just a local outdoor store. So I know when I started out, I learned on Buck Gardner calls when it was something that I could afford. And then Duck Commander, being from Louisiana here, we were blowing Duck Commander calls. Just you could pick them up for $20, $30 back then. And that's what we learned on. Now, a great tip, and Jackson will attest to this probably. I tell people, if you're learning to blow a duck call and you're getting into the sport of waterfowl hunting, a great place to learn to blow a call is in your truck, in your vehicle. I can't tell you how many times somebody's pulled up to me at a red light and they see me just wailing on a duck call and blowing on a duck call in my vehicle. Mm-hmm. And I had Jackson do that with me when we were teaching him how to call. We brought him up and he'd ride in the truck with me. He would bring his calls or his call at the time when he was just getting into it, and he would practice his duck call in the truck with me. So it's a great way to learn and to keep a call with you in your truck and practice those calls whenever you're in your vehicle on the highway. That's a little tip that I would tell people that are getting into it. Mm-hmm. Anything I left out on that?
Not really, except just like the lanyard. If you want to show that, just like we both got the same lanyard that we both bought. I bought one from Cabela's. It's a Northern Flight Cabela's lanyard, and he liked it so much that he got one too. So now we both got the same lanyard.
I do lanyards. I'm not real picky when it comes to that. I do like these. I like something that's kind of lightweight, and it's gotta. When I pick a lanyard, it's gotta fit me, like hang a certain ways on me. I don't like it too long where it's catching on to my shotgun slings and my coats that I'm wearing throughout the season, my jackets, all that type of stuff. I kind of am particular on that. In this Northern Flight one Jackson found, it actually ended up fitting us pretty good, so I like it. So we picked that up at Cabela's.
Yeah, that was my problem with my one before. It was too long. This one was a little bit shorter, and I even put the little clips a little bit higher.
Yeah, it's adjustable. You can kind of move them up where you want. So on my lanyard, guys, I'll show y'all. I'll kind of start with the whistle as well. So Jackson talked about a whistle. I can tell you also, beginner's tip, if you're getting into the sport, this right here, if anything that you pick up, they'll run you $10 for a whistle. And it's so versatile because there's so many species that you could use these whistles on. So like Jackson said, from pintail to green-winged teal to drakes, mallard drakes, any of those types of species can be used with a whistle. So this is a great thing to have and start out learning with. Very simple to use. The one that I got, just so you guys know the brand, not that it matters, but this is a Duck Commander whistle that I got on here, just like every other whistle that's produced out there pretty much. We talked about gray duck calls, how important that is to us here in Louisiana. We kill a lot of Gadwall. The Gadwall call that you see Jackson had on his lanyard was actually my original one that I used on my lanyard. And then Duck Commander, this is a Duck Commander brand. This is the original Gadwall that he has. And then Duck Commander came out with a kind of an updated version. They slimmed it down, made it a lot smaller. There is a different sound I find to it. I'll give you guys a sound profile of the one that's on mine. So I noticed on this one, on the slimmed down version, that it doesn't quite have that whistle, like that little whistle sound to it, like you get in the original one. But I do find that it works very well. It's still highly effective, and I like the slim profile of it. It's not as long as the original Duck Commander one. I like it that it's more like a regular sized duck call, something like that. So that's what I carry as my Gadwall call.
Pick it up real quick. I do see though that it's literally the exact same thing, except just look at the back of yours. It's the same thing right here. It's just the whistle's attached.
Yeah, you have the whistle attached to this one.
So same little shape.
And you're right, it is. Actually, it is the same, but it's attached. It's a little bit different there as far as the whistle, and that's what gives it that little bit distinct sound in the original one. So really, they still sell the original one, guys, and you can get this more slimmed down profile one. But that's why I switched to this one, just because it was more low profile. So we got the whistle, we got the Gadwall call. You'll find that I have a couple of different mallard calls on it. I guess you could say mallard calls. This is a Duck Commander, and this was the Woody Max. I like this call from Duck Commander. This one is an acrylic call from Duck Commander. I'm not even sure if they still make this one, but it's just a great sounding call. I find that it's easy to blow. It's real subtle. If you want to, you can bring it down low, or you can pick that volume up. So when we're hunting in the timber, I really like this call, and I'll give you guys a sound profile of it as well. Just a great sounding call, guys. Super easy to blow, and that's why it has not left my lanyard. I've had it on my lanyard probably now since I picked this up at my local Academy Sports and Outdoors. So great call, very affordable, not expensive at all. As we come to the left side of the lanyard, what you're going to notice is these two calls right here are from the same company, guys. Actually, I'm wearing a shirt in this video. That's just by chance, but this is from Bayou Beast Calls, Mr. Dale Bourdon, the Bayou Beast himself. A couple of years ago, he released some acrylic calls for his company that were modeled off of some of his cane calls that you guys are probably familiar with now. This is Old Blue is what it's called, and this is a teal call, and this is what it sounds like, guys. Just a great sounding teal call. I know that the cane calls are what's really popular that he's doing now. But this acrylic Old Blue call that he made a couple of years ago has never left my lanyard. It's pretty much my teal call that I use now for blue wing teal when we're in the early teal season here in Louisiana. And I use it throughout the season because big duck season, we have a lot of blue wing teal still, hanging around. So that's my call that I use for teal. That's the Old Blue from Bayou Beast Calls. Now this one, it's another Bayou Beast call right here. And this one is my mallard call from Bayou Beast. This is the burnt orange. Once again, it's 100% acrylic. It's modeled off of the cane calls that Mr. Dale makes as well, and just a great sounding call. One thing I love about Bayou Beast Calls, now his cane calls, he talks about soft calling a lot of times. I really like that you could bring the volume down on that because I'm a big fan of a call that you can kind of bring that volume down. Yeah. A lot of guys are wailing on those calls like we talked about, Jackson, and we talk about that all the time. But I find pressured ducks, especially public land here in Louisiana, I like a soft call that I could bring that volume down on. So I'll give you guys a sound profile of what it sounds like. This is also from Bayou Beast.
It's a little bit lower.
A little bit lower sound. You can tell that the volume comes. Hopefully you guys are picking that up right here on the audio and the video, but a lot lower sound to it. If I need to get on it, I can show you that as well. But it's still a much lower tone, lower raspier volume on that call. And I love this call. So it is on my lanyard. It stays on my lanyard. And that's pretty much where it's going to stay until I find something that I find is a little bit better for me. But that's it, guys. I carry 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 calls total on my lanyard that I'm starting out the 24-25 season with right here. And Jackson, you got 5 calls as well. Setup's pretty much the same as far as species go, what we use. But you do see that we have a difference in taste when it comes to the calls themselves. Different brands, different volumes. Jackson tends to have his a little bit louder. I go to a little bit more softer calling. But you can pick up all these calls pretty much as long as they're still available from these manufacturers we talked about by visiting their websites. I know Mr. Dale, you can visit him on social media at Bayou Beast. Look him up. He has some awesome cane calls that he hand makes for you. But very happy. I'm happy going with this setup for the start of the season. I'm sure you are as well. But, guys, we wanted to show y'all what we use, what we have on our lanyards, because that is a common question that we get from people is, hey, what do you guys blow? What do you recommend in a duck call? And I tell people all the time, I recommend whatever's easiest for you to learn on and whatever you have confidence in, because confidence is the key when it comes to duck calling, I would say. Right, Jackson?
Yeah. Like Me, like for me as of now, like this call, I love it, and like, but I haven't got to use it yet. But preferably, like this is the most call I have confidence in right now.
That the one from Duck
The
Commander.
one from Duck Commander.
Yep. Yep. So, well, that's it, guys. Hopefully, this filled you in on a little bit of advice, a little bit of tips as far as helping you out with your calling, especially if you're getting into the sport. And this was fun. I like doing stuff like this. So, if you guys enjoy this type of content, then give us a thumbs up. We'd appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, we'd appreciate it if you do that as well. Share it with your friends because we bring you great content on all kind of reviews on gear throughout waterfowl season and beyond. So until next time, guys, this is Jacob and Jackson with Last Stop Waterfowl Outdoors TV. We'll talk to y'all again soon. Y'all take care and good luck out there on your hunting this season.